Alright y'all, as y'all can see, we got something new for that SI. Nothing too crazy, but we got it from Boost. We got a short sifter. I'm gonna make a little install video and a little review on it. My first review on this thing is that this box is kind of light. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more heavier, but maybe that's a good thing that it's light. I don't really know. We're gonna see though. Yeah, let's do a little opening on this box and see how it's looking. That's everything. Really do like it. It's a nice red. It's like a dark red. It's not like a bright red, but it's a dark red with like a metallic type of slick look to it. And then it's just got some like black on it, like granite black. It's pretty cool. Material seems like some fine metal. It's not flimsy at all, and it looks really good. Came with the little piece right here, of course, and then it also comes with some springs and bolts for installations. So yeah, and everything else that's currently on the shifter that we got in the car is just gonna apply itself onto here, and then the short shifter is installed. So let's go do it. All right, y'all. So what you'll need for the beginning of this installation is a pry bar. I don't have a pry bar, so I'm using a flathead. I don't really recommend it if you don't want to accidentally mess up your interior, but if you don't really care, then you can use a flathead. But if you care, go on Amazon, buy some pry tools, and then wait till they get to you. But if you got pry tools, then good on you. Better than I. You're gonna take these little fenders on the side off. You're gonna take this side off. You're gonna take this side off. So what I'm gonna do, all right, that's one way to get it off. I really don't recommend that. All right, this side wasn't actually as bad as the other side trying to get up. So we're gonna go ahead and, there we go. That's the right side. So next we need a screwdriver. So we're gonna go ahead and get our screwdriver. Gonna unscrew these bolts here. There should be 2 on each side. This one's actually too long. I can't reach the spots I gotta put this in. All right, we got both bolts, y'all. So let's go put these in a safe place and remove the screen. All right, y'all, doing a little quick voiceover. So as y'all can see, there's 3 bolts on this side that I'm highlighting for y'all. There's 3 bolts on the other side directly across from them. You're gonna unscrew all 3 of them on one side, and you're gonna do the same on the other side. Make sure to put your bolts in a safe place, and it should loosen up the this little console right here. So it's not going to come out just yet because we have one more step, and that is to remove the climate control system right above from the screws that I'm removing right now. So once we do that, we'll be able to remove everything. So actually, before we'll be able to remove everything, we'll need to do one more step, and that is to remove this little centerpiece right here around the shifter. There's 3 connectors underneath the shifter. They're very easy and accessible to get to. So you just got to find a little easy piece to push in, and they should just unplug right out. And same with the control module or the climate control module. There's 2 connectors behind it, and they're very accessible. And you just find a little piece that you need to push in, and you just unclick them. All right, so we took these other 2 right here out. So it appears that there's another one right here and another one on the other side from it. So go ahead and take these 2 screws out as well. These are all the screws. There should be a total of 8. So let's try to rip this thing out. Just in case I forgot to mention it, there's these 2 bolts right here. You're also going to need to remove, and then it should be accessible to remove this little trim right here. Just got to put a little bit of muscle into it, and yep, should just pop right out. And then once you have it lifted up, there's 3 connectors underneath, and you should be able to unplug them really easily. If you can't, look underneath, look at what you're doing, and unplug them because they're really easy to unplug. So just make sure you're able to do it. Alright, y'all. So I looked up a quick video. Apparently, you can pry off your sidebars right here for your center console as well. So if you would like, you can go ahead and try to make some more space for yourself and go ahead and take these off too. So I watched a bunch of videos. They don't really be explaining that. So I looked one up and I really do find this helpful. So you actually want to take out these 2 screws right here. And you're going to take out the main bolt that's holding this frame down. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. This one. Yep. There we go. Now we have a good portion of the center console removed. I actually kind of like it like this. I'm not going to lie. So the next step would be to remove your little charging port area right here. Just go ahead and pull it out like I did. I tried removing it with my flathead before this and that didn't go well, so just pulling it worked out way better. And you have 2 connector cables behind these, so just go ahead and unplug them. This little side for the cigarette lighter is a little bit difficult, but once I looked at what I was doing, I was able to get it unplugged. And then yeah, just go ahead and unplug both and you'll be on to the next step. Alright y'all, so next I believe we got to remove all the wiring harnesses from the panel itself. So this part right here, we're going to disconnect that, and then coming over here we got to remove that off of the panel, and then we got this one right here. So I think we got to remove those 3, and then it'll be disconnected from this, and I believe we should be good to move to the back. Alright y'all, so we're gonna have to cut these little wiring harnesses in here, so it may be a little bit tricky. It's probably gonna be tricky for me, especially since I got big ass hands, but if I can do it, then y'all can do it. So let's see if I can even do this. Got my little Switzerland knife set, you know what I'm saying? Got some scissors on it. So for this section, y'all, I want to say take your time. I thought using bigger scissors were going to help me get through this process way easier, but these ones were weak and flimsy, so I ended up having to go back with my little scissors here and cut through this. This part took a lot of time, so if you're feeling frustrated, really just take your time with it. Try to find something that's suitable to cut. So now I believe we can finally move on to the back, so we can finally remove the center console. Alright y'all, so next we have the little center console mat back here. We're going to remove this mat, and just a little fair warning, you probably want to clean your car beforehand. You're going to remove your mat from the back, and you should see 2 bolts back here. So you're going to grab your screwdriver and you're just going to untwist them out. Alright y'all, so as y'all can see, the whole center console is loose. We just have to remove this back panel. I believe there's a wiring harness back here that we need to disconnect. And once we do that, we should be good to remove the center console. Let's do it. This one seems pretty easy. Just peel that off. And actually, it's not looking like there's anything to disconnect. So there is actually a connector in the back that you'll need to unplug right here. Alright, so we finally got the center console out, you guys. Got the console over here. Some wires that I missed. Overall, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 for doing it by myself. You know, it's kind of, what's the word? It's kind of hard to get it out, but it doesn't matter because now. Alright, y'all, so now that we have the center console removed, We're gonna have 4 bolts we need to remove. We got 1, 2, 3. Where's 4 at? I can't see. And then 4 is underneath there. So we're gonna remove that, and then we're gonna have to remove this little thing, and I believe this. And we should be good to install our new shifter. And we're gonna have to remove the little line so that we can attach our new shifter. But that's really about it. So let's do this. I guess. Yeah. These are the bolts you actually want to undo. So these are 10 mils. So make sure you got a 10 mil socket, and then remove all 10 mils on all 4 sides. And to make it easier for yourself, before you start to unscrew some of these bolts, you can cut some of these zip ties holding these tubes onto the or these wires onto the shifter, because at the end of the day they are going to have to be cut off anyway, since you'll be swapping in your new shifter. So you won't have to worry about reinstalling it unless you want to be like all neat and everything. In that case, I don't really have the instructions for that, but yeah, just go ahead and cut these off to make it easier for you, since you'll have to do that anyways. And yeah. Alright, y'all, so I finally got all the bolts off. I'm not gonna lie, this one right here was probably the toughest one because it's in a tough spot. So I recommend loosening up all these little cables right here on the side first, so then you can slide your little wrench underneath these cables to get to this bolt. So try that out. But now that we're past that, we have these 2 cables right here, and you twist them counterclockwise so that you can get them unstuck. So let's see if I can do it on camera for y'all. This is quite literally frustrating. This piece right here is so hard to move. Like, it's just this. It's guarded by this plastic up here. This piece was not too bad. This one is pretty simple. But since this is covered by this, and I got big ass hands, it's hard to pull it off. So I'll get back to y'all in a second. Alright, I'm gonna give y'all an update y'all need. Every YouTube video I've watched has not explained this when it's gone to this part. So when it comes to disassembling, first off, we're gonna go with this. This little pin right here, you're gonna use to wrap around to put back on. So you're gonna disconnect this pin from this little piece right here. You're gonna disconnect it from there. Okay. And then this piece should just break off. And then you have this piece down here, and it looks pretty simple. It is pretty simple. All you're gonna do, can this focus? All you're gonna do for this is that you're gonna remove these 2 pins from the sides. You're gonna just push them on the side. You're gonna push them outwards, and you're gonna pull down, and it's gonna disconnect itself. Okay, you guys, words cannot express my freaking frustration trying to get this out. This piece right here, I'm gonna just say, you guys, I spent 30 minutes trying to get this one piece out. This one cable. I had to use some of these. If you don't have some of these, possibly get yourself some, because I'm a big dude. I got big hands. I cannot for the life of me untwist this one. This one was super simple, but because this whole little unnecessary covering piece right here, it made it 20 times harder for me to twist it out. That took way too long, and yeah, this just looks way easier to put back on. So let's go ahead and assemble this. Alright, you guys, so we finally got the short shifter installed. Everything's all working. Foot on the clutch, and yeah, the reverse is fine, and this is as far as everything goes. So this progress was low-key kind of hard without another person, but there's nothing that I can't do by myself. So if I can do it, y'all can do it too. It's all hooked up. Reverse is working. This shifter feels already like very neat. It's very short actually, like very, like, this is first gear, this is second, third, fourth. It's very micro shifting in this. So I really like it a lot. It's already an improvement from this one. So if y'all think about doing an upgrade, I would say this upgrade is probably worth it. I do like how the stock shifter feels already, and there wasn't anything wrong with it to begin with. I did just want something just to feel a little bit better, more performance based, and also because I don't know. Sometimes when I'll try to do a little like fourth or third shift, sometimes it'll go into first, and I'm not with that money stuff. I'm not with that money shifting, so I don't want a money shift. But this feels pretty good. So if you're thinking about doing it, I say go for it. I definitely give this install a 7 out of 10 with hardness, only because when it came to taking this off, this was beating my butt, you guys. This was causing me blood, sweat, and tears. But other than that, everything was pretty simple. So honestly, I say give it a try if you're thinking about it. Blow boost, I like it.